Chapter 10 Circles. In class 9 you studied that a circle is a collection of all the points in a plane which are at a constant distance from a fixed point. That fixed point is called center of the circle and the constant distance is called radius of the circle. You also studied about different types of terms and basic definitions related to a circle like arc of a circle, chord of a circle, sector and segment of a circle, etc. Now let us see and examine different situations that can arise when a circle and a straight line are given in a plane. A straight line and a circle are there in a plane. There can be three possibilities. First possibility is the circle and a straight line both are separately lying in the plane as shown in this figure. In this situation, straight line PQ and the circle, they do not have any point in common. They are separately lying in the same plane. So such a straight line is called non-intersecting line with respect to the circle. Second possibility is straight line intersects the circle as shown in this figure. In this situation, straight line PQ intersects the circle at two distinct points A and B. So, 2 points A and B are the common points between straight line PQ and the circle. Such a straight line which intersects a circle at two distinct points is called secant to the circle. So here in this figure, straight line PQ is intersecting the circle at two distinct points A and B. So PQ is a secant to the circle. Third possibility is the straight line intersects the circle at only one point as shown in this figure. In this situation, straight line PQ intersects the circle at only one point A. So point A is the only point common between the straight line and the circle. Such a straight line which intersects a circle, or we can say just touches a circle at only one point, is called tangent to the circle. And the point at which a straight line intersects the circle is called point of contact. So a straight line that intersects a circle at only one point is called tangent to the circle. Now at a point on a circle, there can be how many straight lines which intersect the circle at only one point? Only one straight line can be there which will intersect the circle at a point. See this figure. In this figure, only and only straight line L intersects the circle at point P. All other straight lines passing through even point P which is on the circle, they are intersecting the circle at two distinct points. So therefore, line L and only line L is tangent to the circle at point P as it intersects at only one point P, whereas all other straight lines are intersecting the circles at two distinct points, so they are secant to the circle. Hence, at a point on a circle, there is only one tangent to the circle. On a circle, there are infinitely many points, and at every point of infinitely many points, there will be a tangent. So a circle as a whole will have infinitely many tangents at their infinitely many points. In this chapter, two important theorems are given. Theorem 10.1 and Theorem 10.2. They are very frequently asked in board exams also. So from board examination point of view, they are very important theorems. So let us see first theorem 10.1. The tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. We are going to prove this theorem, and in order to prove this theorem, let us have a figure. In this figure, we are given a circle with center O. AB is a tangent to this circle with center O at point of contact P. We have to prove that tangent AB is perpendicular to the radius OP through the point of contact P. So, in the process of proving this theorem, let's write given information. We are given a circle with center O. AB is a tangent at point of contact P. To prove, we have to prove that OP radius through point of contact P is perpendicular to tangent AB. Proof. To prove this theorem, let's take a point Q on the tangent AB and join OQ. This point Q being taken on the tangent AB must lie outside of the circle, because tangent AB and the circle have only one common point P. So, any point taken on the tangent AB will be surely outside of the circle. So, distance of point Q on the tangent AB from the center of the circle will be greater than the radius OP. So, take a point Q on the tangent AB and join OQ. This point Q must lie outside of the circle, as point Q lies on the tangent AB. Therefore, OQ is greater than OP. And like this, if any other point, suppose R is taken on the tangent AB and RO is joined, then distance of point R from the center of the circle will be greater than the radius, because point R lying on the tangent AB will lie outside of the circle. Similarly, if we take some other points on the tangent AB, their distances from the center will be always greater than the radius of the circle. This is happening for every point lying on the tangent AB except point P. So, for all the points on the tangent AB, their distances from the center of the circle will be always greater than the radius of the circle, that is OP. Therefore, this radius OP is shortest distance of all the distances of the points taken on the tangents from the center. Since this happen, for all the points on the tangent AB except point P, so OP is the shortest of all the distances of the points on the tangent AB. Therefore, OP is perpendicular to tangent AB. Being shortest distance, OP will be perpendicular to tangent AB. Hence proved. Second important theorem of this chapter is theorem 10.2. This theorem states that the lengths of tangents drawn from an external point to a circle are equal. This is the statement of theorem 10.2, and we are going to prove this theorem. In order to prove this theorem, let's have a figure. In this figure, we are given a circle with center O, and PQ and PR are two tangents drawn from an external point P to the circle with center O. We have to prove that tangents PQ and PR are equal. So let's write given. We are given a circle with center O, PQ and PR are tangents drawn from external point P. To prove, we have to prove that PQ is equal to PR. Proof: PQ and PR are tangents to the circle with center O. Therefore, OQ is perpendicular to PQ and OR is perpendicular to PR, as OQ is radius through the point of contact and PQ is tangent, so radius through the point of contact is always perpendicular to the tangent. So OQ is perpendicular to PQ and OR is perpendicular to PR. Theorem (10.1). In triangle PQO and triangle PRO, we have angle PQO is 90 degree, also angle PRO equal to 90 degrees because radius through the point of contact is perpendicular to the tangent. So therefore, angle PQO is equal to angle PRO, 90 degree each, as radius is perpendicular to tangent. OQ is equal to OR, radii of the same circle. So they are equal. OP is equal to OP, common side. So in triangle PQO and PRO, angle PQO is equal to angle PRO 90 degree each. OQ equal to OR, radii of the same circle, so they are equal, and OP equal to OP, common side. Therefore, triangle PQO is congruent to triangle PRO by RHS congruence rule. And therefore, PQ is equal to PR, as they are corresponding part of congruent triangles. So PQ equal to PR. This is the result that we had to prove in this theorem, and we have proved it. So hence proved. Now we are going to do a question in which theorem 10.1 and theorem 10.2 both are used. TP and TQ are two tangents drawn from an external point T to a circle with center O. Prove that angle PTQ is equal to twice of angle OPQ. That is, angle between the two tangents, angle PTQ, is double of angle OPQ. Figure is shown here. In this figure, TP and TQ are two tangents drawn from external point T to the circle with center O. We have to prove that angle PTQ is equal to 2 into angle OPQ. So let us write given we are given a circle with center O. TP and TQ are tangents drawn from external point T. We have to prove that angle PTQ is equal to 2 into angle OPQ. Proof. As shown in the figure and given in the question also, that TP and TQ are two tangents drawn from external point T to the circle with center O. So therefore their lengths will be equal. So TP is equal to TQ. According to theorem 10.2. Theorem 10.2 says that lengths of tangents drawn from an external point to a circle are equal. So here TP and TQ are two tangents drawn from external point T to the circle with center O. Therefore TP equal to TQ, and this implies that angle TPQ is equal to angle TQP, because angles opposite to equal sides are equal. Angles opposite to equal sides are equal, so angle TPQ is equal to angle TQP. That means triangle TPQ is an isosceles triangle because TP equal to TQ. Now in triangle TPQ, we are going to apply angle sum property in triangle TPQ. So angle TPQ plus angle TQP plus angle PTQ is equal to 180 degrees. Angle sum property of a triangle. And this implies that angle TPQ plus, in place of angle TQP, we are going to write angle TPQ. So angle TPQ plus angle PTQ is equal to 180 degrees. This further implies that twice of angle TPQ plus angle PTQ is equal to 180 degrees. So twice of angle TPQ is equal to 180 degrees minus angle PTQ. This angle PTQ is transposed from left side to right side. And this implies that angle TPQ is equal to half of angle 180 degrees minus angle PTQ, which is equal to, or we can say angle TPQ is equal to 90 degrees minus half of angle PTQ. Let it be number 1. Now OQ is radius and PQ is tangent. So OQ is perpendicular to PQ as tangent is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact according to theorem 10.1. So angle OPQ plus angle TPQ is equal to 90 degrees. And this implies that angle OPQ plus 90 degrees minus half of angle PTQ is equal to 90 degree. This is from 1. We have written 90 degrees minus half of angle PTQ in place of angle TPQ from this equation number 1. Now let us transpose this 90 degrees minus half of angle PTQ from left side to right side. So it further implies that angle OPQ is equal to 90 degrees minus half of angle PTQ. Simplify it. Angle OPQ is equal to 90 degrees minus 90 degrees plus half of angle PTQ. If you open this bracket, it will be minus 90 degrees plus half of angle PTQ. 90 degrees minus 90 degrees cancelled, and we get angle OPQ is equal to half of angle PTQ. If you cross multiply, we get angle PTQ is equal to 2 into angle OPQ, and this is the required result that we had to prove in this question using theorem 10.1 and 10.2. So hence proved.